Welcome to In the Name of the Cosmos. My name is Siri Prakash. I'm a Vedic astrologer. In today's video, we're going to examine the last new moon cycle of 2022, occurring on December 23rd. Now, this new moon cycle brings with it an immense sense of excitement, an immense joy, something to look forward to, and heightened hope, which is important for us to actually hold on to really look to see the light. The moon will join with Venus and Mercury. And the moon, we know its qualities adapt to those it's surrounded with. So this poetry that Venus and Mercury make together, this harmony they bring together, this creative action of exchange, right? And bringing things also to market, of communication, right? Of creation, this harmony between technique and art, coming together with the moon gives upliftment to it. Brings in a sense of curiosity. You know, Venus with the moon will help us to discover new talents or discover hidden talents that we say, oh, I forgot about this. You know, it will bring in our awareness to see what we're good at and how we should utilize it. Mercury's influence to the moon will make it to feel aware of responsibility. It will remind it of what is actually important. Then Jupiter in a Kendra, a very beneficial position from the moon, is depositing wisdom with alert awareness, not nervous, but just an awareness to understand what opportunities are actually awaiting for us. Mars is giving its aspect, it's an 8th aspect, and it's a little tougher to the moon, but what it's infusing it with is this message of experience, this message of ideas, this message of I want to be free. You know, it will give a lot of energy. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. So there'll be this like effervescence feeling of like, I can't wait for my future. I can't wait for things to come. You will feel inspired by what is lying ahead of you. Now this nakshatra that is always like communicated as being dreadful is Mula nakshatra, the one that's igniting the moon. And the Mula nakshatra is ruled by a goddess named Nritti. And Nritti is associated with Kali. It's considered to be one of her forms. And I want you to consider, also coming from written and wisdom text from the rishis, is not just that it's this fierce goddess, destruction, tearing things down. There are certain combinations certainly for this to occur, and certainly with all respect we must honor what the position and actually this divine job that's been given to this goddess to help us to move through our karmas, right? So with all respect, I bow to her. But she's not one that is just in this fury that's wanting to make us miserable. In this part of the sky, she's actually in rapture. She's in absolute ecstasy of taking and transforming things, of actually bringing in the excitement of pulling out the old to reach for the new, right? So just like to get to Lakshmi, you have to walk through a Lakshmi. You cannot get to the goddess who gives all benefit without going through her sister, that you have to go through this test, right? And when we go through this Mula nakshatra, the moon in its accompaniment with Venus and with Mercury and the benefit of Jupiter gives this ecstasy and excitement of what is coming. And this ease of letting things go. And this need and desire to feel free from the aspect of Mars to the moon. It's very joyous, this new moon cycle. You know, we have Saturn second from the moon. when we look from the moon's placement, right? Using the moon as the ascendant. So second from the moon is Saturn. And here Saturn's energy is actually quite powerful. It's gaining speed. It's actually speeding up because in 27 days from the new moon, he moves into the sign of Aquarius, his second sign, his male sign. And here it's called the Mula Trikona of Saturn. Mula Trikona simply means, you know, we can think about it as being like his office, his home office, like where he goes to work, you know? So it's where Saturn sits down at his desk and starts taking care of business. And in the sign of Aquarius, it's bringing in power to the people. So we will all collectively feel this relief that things start to move, you know? And the moon, as I spoke about in the last video, it's the one that signs the deal. It's the one that makes the contract. And it picks up all the energy and reflects what's going on. And it senses and knows through this time that Saturn is also moving. So there's relief that's being reflected to us, like things are starting to change. Things are moving ahead, right? So I hope that you recognize what divine paths are waiting ahead of you when you start to look for the light. You know, with this rebirth of our sun that happened on the winter solstice or summer solstice for you guys who are in the southern hemisphere, right? So when we look to where, it's very interesting. You know, I like symbolism. I like to study the symbolism rather than just parrot and really deeply listen to what the rishis and the seers have said and written, and to my wise teachers who have taught me so much. And when we look to the symbolism, if we think about, the sun dies every day when it sets in the west. So we know the west is the place where things go to die. So even we consider with Vastu what this placement really means in our house and our offices and all these things. So the sun goes to die every single night as it sets in the west, and the moon rises, right? Where the night sky and the moon actually expresses. We can see that Nritti, she also governs this west, actually southwestern portion of the sky. So we look at the way our sun took a deep dive to transform. We're also going through that with our moon, but it's one that's joyous, of rising. It's this rapturous rising that something is lying ahead of us that's filled with light. So I hope that you fix your mind to look at how special you are, how special your gifts are, how you individually and as we as a collective are needed on the planet. I hope that you enjoy this new moon cycle with prayer, taking your breath with each breath, saying, thank you to God, my prayers are received. Thank you, God, my prayers are received. You know, Hanuman, by the way, he was born under Mula nakshatra. You know, so it's not just this destruction. So you'll see it's overly used, and it's a way to just get people to get into a sense of contraction and fear. So I can trap you in to listen to this. There's so much more to be seen within this nakshatra when we study the symbols. I wish you a beautiful new moon cycle. I wish you happy, holy days for those who celebrate Christmas. I hope that you come into the new year, this year of 7, this year of luck, this year actually of ascension, yeah, ruled by Ketu in the moon. Really look to the luminaries in the sky and see how these energies lie within you. Take care.